You heard AI is supposed to make your life easier, help you finally turn what you know into income. So why did you open ChatGPT, type in your expertise, and get back something that sounds like it was written for anyone? Nothing a client would ever pay for, nothing that sounded like it came from someone who's actually done this for over 20 years. I watched women with the 20 plus years of real expertise do this, get back generic fluff, and quietly decide AI just isn't for people like you. Here's what's actually happening. AI knows everything, but it doesn't know you. That's not an AI problem, that's a translation problem. Nobody ever taught you how to turn 20 years of expertise into something AI can actually use. The good news is it is fixable. Picture this instead. A few days where AI put 20 years of case studies, lessons, and frameworks out of your head and lays all out in your own words, organized and ready to use. Not a year, a few days. And if you keep doing what you are doing right now, here's what's going to happen. You are going to keep typing prompts and more prompts, but keep getting stuff you can't actually use. And keep telling yourself your expertise just isn't valuable. Meanwhile, someone with less experience than you is getting the clients. Right now, AI can finally hold and organize everything you know at once, something it genuinely couldn't do well 2 years ago. So let's fix the one thing you are doing that making AI useless to you. Hi, I'm Grace Wang. I've been an entrepreneur for 27 years and I'm a four-time Amazon bestselling author. For the past 5 years, I've helped experienced women turn what they already know into positioning books, authority, and clients. For the past 6 months, I've been building my own AI-powered business operating system to support what I do and helping other experienced women start building their own AI system too. On this channel, I will show you how to use books as a positioning and marketing tool, AI as your system, and the experience you already have to create assets that bring in clients, generate income, and build something that actually lasts. I want to tell you about the first time I tried to get AI to help me put together my own knowledge. I typed in something like, I have 27 years of experience in business. Write something that show my expertise. And what came back was generic. And it made me angry because none of it was about me. It was confident sounding, nicely formatted, and completely useless. It didn't sound like me. It didn't have any of my actual stories, my actual clients, my actual mistakes. It sounded like it could have been written about anyone, which meant it was actually written about no one. My first thought was that AI just wasn't built for someone like me. I have too much nuance, too much experience, too specific. I closed the tab. Here's what I got wrong, and it's the same thing almost every woman with 20 plus years of expertise gets wrong the first time. I asked the AI to invent something out of nothing. I never gave AI what I actually know. I just asked it to guess everything about me. What changed things was when I stopped asking AI to write about my expertise and instead gave it my expertise, past client results, notes from past projects, the frameworks I used over and over without ever writing them down. I asked it to organize what I already had, not invent something new that changed everything. Within a few days, 27 years of scattered knowledge in my head, in old notes, old files, documents, turned into something organized. It became the foundation for what I do. So let's talk about the 3 specific mistakes that make AI feel useless to experienced women. Because once you see them, the fix is very simple. Mistake 1. You are asking AI to generate instead of organize. When you ask AI to write about your expertise, it has to guess. When you gave it what you already know, your notes, your stories, your actual work, and ask it to organize that, it stops guessing and starts working with the real material. That's the difference between generic and specific. Mistake 2, you are dumping 20 years into one prompt. One prompt can't hold 2 decades. You need a process that pulls your expertise out in pieces, client by client, lesson by lesson, not one giant tell me everything attempt that overwhelms both you and the AI. Mistake 3, what you know doesn't have a home yet. A home isn't a folder of notes or a pile of old files. It's an AI powered operating system, one place where everything you know actually lives. So AI always knows where to find it. Without that, AI doesn't know where any of it belongs. So it just sits there scattered, going nowhere. The fix isn't typing more prompts, it's building that home first. If you are tired of wasting hours typing prompt after prompt and getting nothing back, tired of everything you know still scattered in your head in old notes, old files, documents, you tired of watching people with less experience than you land the premium clients that should have been yours. That's exactly what the AI-powered CEO Command Center Starter fixes. It gives your scattered knowledge a home, one system that pulls everything you know and organizes it into something real. Comment the word system and I will share the details with you. One of my clients right now is a successful educator, seasoned speaker, and a business owner. She spent over 3 decades as an educator and speaker and had folders of old talks, client notes, and frameworks scattered across so many different places. She had tried using AI on her own before, but the chats just piled up, more scattered mess, not less. It started to overwhelm her. Now we are building her AI-powered operating system foundation. So her real talks, real case studies, real client stories into one place instead of asking AI to invent anything. Remember the few days I mentioned at the start? Hers took about the same. Decades of scattered material now have one home that holds everything. She told me it was the first time AI had ever felt like it understood what she actually did instead of guessing at it. Her expertise was never the problem. The problem was that it had never been organized in a way that AI and herself could easily work together. So here's exactly how to start doing this yourself this week with whatever scattered notes you already have sitting around. Here's a shift. In plain terms, most people open ChatGPT and start typing before anything is set up. No account setting reviewed, no memory checked, nothing personalized. That's the first mistake. Before AI can help you, it needs to be set up correctly. Just like you wouldn't move into a house before the foundation is poured. Then, and this is a part almost everyone skips, someone has to sit down and actually pull the business out of your head, not guess at it. Ask you the real questions. What you do, who you help, what you are building toward, how you like to work. That's not a prompt. That's an interview. Only after that does anything get built. A real system, one that already knows your business. So every time you open it, you are not starting from scratch. Every woman I walked through this already had enough material sitting in old folders and half-forgotten notes to fill a book. The block was never, I don't know enough. It was nothing I know is set up anywhere AI could actually use. So if you are starting tonight, don't start by typing a prompt. Start by asking, is my AI even set up correctly? Do I know what to tell it about my business? That's the real starting point. And it's exactly the foundation I walk women through step by step inside the AI powered CEO Command Center Starter. Comment the word system below and I will share the details with you. Don't let one more year go by with it all still scattered everywhere.